Okay, here we are. Welcome everyone. Hello Tech. Today we are casting some other games from Alchemy League Season 7. Alright, so let's just jump straight into the first draft. Or rather, the first match. So, first set is going to be YoSoyPacho against TheOtterOne. Now, both these players have played in the league before. Otter has been with us since Season 1. I think he only skipped Season 2. And I guess that was because it was played on standard maps. And YoSoyPacho has been with us since the space-themed season, if I'm not mistaken, which was Season 5? I think, yeah, Season 5. So, YoSoyPacho, as you can see, he is currently sitting at 1600 with his Hilo, but he has been higher. His highest is 1750, and he is a player from Colombia. Otter, on the other hand, as you can see, similar Hilo, slightly lower when it comes to current rating and highest rating. But as I said, he's been with us for longer than YoSoyPacho, so when it comes to experience, yes, when it comes to experience, he's going to have a slight edge on YoSoyPacho, despite the fact that he is slightly lower in Elo. So overall, this should be quite the balanced match. These two players have actually played each other quite a lot in the league during the previous seasons. I think in the past 2 seasons they've played each other in both sprints, if I'm not mistaken, so they should know each other quite a bit by this point. Now, speaking of the draft, as you can see, we have modes as our map for game 1, meaning that this set was played in round 3. Small spoiler, both sets we're going to be seeing today were played in round 3. So sorry if we're not going to have that much of a map variety. I just figured, well, I haven't casted a single game from any of the players we're going to be seeing today, so I just figured let's sacrifice some map variety to give some player variety. And so back to the draft. Second game is going to be played on glaciers, team glaciers, which we've seen quite a bit in the league up until now. Now, as for civs, we have, as usual, 5 random bands: Koreans, Hindustanis, Huns, Byzantines, and Mongols. All of these are pretty strong civs. A couple of them we haven't really seen in the league, like Huns. I don't think I've seen a single game played with Huns. I think I've seen a couple with Hindustanis. And, well, Koreans, Byzantines, and Mongols are always strong choices on league maps. Now, as for player bands, we have Bengalis and Aztecs from YoSoyPacho. I'm guessing, seeing we have modes, I'm guessing he doesn't want to fall prey to some kind of monk play, right? Bengalis and Aztecs can both do very strong monks. As for Otter, we have Spanish and Turks as bands, so on the other hand, I think he doesn't want to fall prey to unique unit play, which Spanish and Turks can do very well on arena-style maps. As for picks, from YoSoyPacho, we have Lithuanians, Italians, and Georgians. His Malay pick was sniped by Otter. Makes sense, Malay are a pretty strong civ on any map. That faster uptime is a very, very flexible bonus, so you can apply it to pretty much any kind of map. Open maps, closed maps, water maps, hybrid maps, you can use Malay pretty much everywhere. Now, as for Otter, he's left with Saracens, Gurjaras, and Vikings, and he had his Teutons sniped, which is interesting, because I think the only reason you would snipe Teutons would be if you're going to go for monks yourself, right? Because Teutons have that nice conversion resistance. that would really counter any kind of monk play. So I wonder if YoSoyPacho is thinking about that, and he does have Lithuanians, despite the fact that they were a random pick. But I mean, Italians can do some kind of monk play as well. They don't have a direct bonus to the monks, but the only tag from the monastery they're missing is heresy, so they can do a pretty decent monk play. Anyway, that's it for the draft. I'm actually curious to see where Otter is going to be using the Vikings, if he uses them at all. There is something I thought of with Vikings for these maps, but I haven't tried it out yet, so I wonder if we're going to be seeing whether Otter got the same idea as me. But anyway, let me change scene, jump into Capture Age. Also, welcome, Luriosa. Sorry, I was too caught into the draft. And let's go. Okay, so we have YoSoyPacho here in purple. As you can see, he has a different in-game name, but yeah, this is YoSoyPacho, playing as the Italians, and Otter in the yellow, playing as the Gurjaras. Okay. Alright, so during the previous season we had Dugong as a map, which was very arena-like. And I remember that Otter went Gurjara elephants and monks on that one after I suggested he should be doing so. And he told me that, yeah, this strategy worked out very well for him. It is a personal favorite of mine when it comes to strats to do on arena-style maps. So I wonder if he's going to be doing that today. And the funny thing is, he did that to YoSoyPacho during the previous season. So YoSoyPacho should be expecting that kind of play. So we'll see. We'll see what Otter has in store for us. So for the time being, Otter, the only one who went for the outside boar. As always, as usual on this map, you have one boar inside your base and one on the outside. And you also have 4 of your sheep on the outside, and Otter got all of them. Right, he is Gurjaras, so he can just put those into the mill and they will slowly generate food. YoSoyPacho, he's got 4. Is he missing 2? It's not easy to tell with this snowy terrain, but I think he might be missing 2. Okay, after taking the second boar. Yeah, there's no sheep. There's 8 in the mill from Otter, so he didn't lame any. Oh, maybe I'm just blind and YoSoyPacho has already eaten 4 sheep. Yeah, that will make sense, because these 2 boars were quite late compared to what you usually would be doing. Okay, Otter queued Loom, then cancelled it and then queued it again. Now, it makes sense because you're going out, but at the same time you're sending so many vills that I don't think you need to really do Loom here. And and you can just wall to the moat. Also, this is a nice spot for Otter, right? He can just wall to the water from here, and then he can wall like this, and this area is basically sealed off. YoSoyPacho would have to go all the way around here, but then you can just wall like this, and you got safe gold, safe stone, couple of deers. Otter could go for that boar, but I don't think he sees that. Yeah, he doesn't. You do have some extra boars on this map. So there's one over there for Otter. Yeah, there's one here for YoSoyPacho, who's taking it. And I think that's it. Okay, no, there's another one over here. So, yeah, so technically this was YoSoyPacho's, this is Otter's, and this one was kind of the... Oh yeah, there's another neutral one here. Okay, Otter taking the deer, ignoring the chicken. It makes sense, right? You would have to mill these, but, I mean, given the distance, you might as well just mill this. Yeah, YoSoyPacho might think the same, although his deers are kind of forward, so maybe they might be a little bit too exposed. Otter actually not milling that. Oh, maybe he'll take the vills and build the mill once they have their hands full of meat. So 12 vills on food. Going for the wood. I have to say, I was expecting, before the league started, I thought people would struggle a bit more with builds on this map. Because people are so used to pushing the deer, right, with the scout, instead of just milling it. And the chickens, I think there's still kind of a question mark in many people's mind. But yeah, people have had pretty good builds, I have to say. I myself haven't struggled too much in getting decent times. So yeah. Okay, Otter is going up to feudal. Is he going to be able to pull this off? I mean, he's got the vills on gold. He got loom, so maybe he would need a third one. If he's going for a fast castle. Okay, he's going to build the mill here. It's a little bit far away from the tiers, but you can get that shorefish, which is another 200 food. He's out of berries as well. No, I don't think Otter is going to be able to pull off a fast castle. Or rather, he's not going to be able to do 21 plus 2, which it seems like it was. Maybe not. Maybe he just wanted to go up faster, so he would have the advantage with the Camel Scout, because the Camel Scout gets some bonus damage in feudal, whereas I believe it doesn't have any bonus damage in Dark Age. YoSoyPacho, okay, adding a barracks. Okay, so this is going to be a scout play from YoSoyPacho, like what you would see on Arena when you're fighting for relics. This boar is not going to be able to... Yeah. And that's going to be his 4th boar, so he's going to be able to click up. He's missing the 2nd building. Oh, there's the market. And Otter, what do I know? I guess he sold the stone. He does have a minute of idle TC time, though. And yeah, it's going to be scouts from YoSoyPacho. Now, it might not be for relics, but rather to counter the monk play that he thinks is going to be coming. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay, he spots the vills, so he knows this is going to be a monk siege play. That's the only reason why you would send 2 vills. But there's the camel from Otter, and this is one of the strong points about this kind of play with the Gorjars. It's not only the fact that you have mounted units dealing extra bonus damage, which applies to their siege elephants. It's also the fact that you start with a camel scout, which turns into a camel rider once you hit castle age. So scout play is not really going to be that great unless you have massed scouts. I mean, yeah, Otto, he's just going to wall in the Vil. Ooh. Never mind. Bill goes down. And yeah, now there are spears from YoSoyPacho. Who, well, he is going to be able to stop this from going up. Is Otter sending more vills somewhere else? Nope. He is not. Okay, so he's going to go for monks at home. And he's going to add the barracks. Okay, so this barracks is going to be just so that he's able to add a stable afterwards. And I think we're going to be seeing monks and camels, and then afterwards he will just add the siege workshop after he gains map control. So yeah, Otter, it hurts a little bit to get that forward denied, but he's got safe resources. He's got Gurjarico. He would need to put down some more farms, right? Because the thing about Gurjaras and Hindustanis and Dravidians is that you do not have siege, you do not have rams, which cost wood and gold, but you have elephants, armored elephants and siege elephants, which cost food and gold. So it's kind of tricky when you're going for this kind of smush with the monks and the siege, because normally you would focus Rico on gold and wood, because that's all you're going to be needing. But yeah, with Gurjaras you need food as well. Otter, okay, taps that just in time. And YoSoyPacho behind this. Okay, he's got a monastery of his own. So as I said, Italians, they do get a decent monastery tech tree. He already got devotion, which is going to be nice to not get converted as easily. And from here, he could easily go atonement, right? You get atonement just to convert your enemy's monks. Ooh, okay, I didn't see this. Otter got 2 of his monks sniped. He is going to get the siege workshop up. And he's getting the second TC. Now, Gurjaras do not get pikemen, right? They're one of the 2 civs which do not get pikemen upgrade. The other being Turks. So if they want to counter this light cap, they really need the camels. Which is why I don't really like this TC from Otter. I would rather see a stable, and then you send more vills to gold, and eventually you just balance your Rico with the market. Because as things stand right now, he doesn't really have an answer to the light cap, especially when there's devotion already in. Right, if he was Aztecs, then maybe you can try it. But yeah, they're Gurjaras. You cannot afford to risk it. And YoSoyPacho, look at this. He's also using the weak scout just to take a look around the map. Just make sure that Otter is not expanding to some other areas, because he knows about these fields. So he just wants to make sure that this is where Otter is expanding, and there's nothing else on the map. Also, he's going to be looking for relics. As always, reminder that Alchemy League is played on standard victories, so you can win with relics, or well, with a wonder if you want. Which I believe I still haven't seen this season. Biscuits did it in previous seasons. I don't think he's tried that yet. Actually, I don't even remember if Biscuits is playing this season. I don't think I've seen any recorded games from him in the Discord. Okay, this is going to be 1 relic, 2 relics. He's going to have 4 relics. I think there's 5 on the map. I do not see the 5th one. Did Otter get one? No. Oh, no, wait. That was the 4th. Oh yeah, that's the 5th relic, okay. Okay, so Otter has kind of given up on the push with the monks and the siege. So he's just going to be booming behind this. And to be fair, he's got the same amount of vills as as YoSoyPacho. I mentioned Biscuits and now I'm just going to have him on my mind and just say his name. So if this goes late, it's going to be Gorgiaras against Italians. Which becomes interesting because, generally speaking, Italians, they do have a great counter to cavalry, which is the Genoese crossbowmen. Which, oh yeah, there it is, right? Because they have bonus damage against cavalry. Now, the thing about Gorgiaras is that they do rely quite a bit on cavalry, mostly on camels, but they do have nice hussars and whatnot. But they have another unique unit, which is the Shrimbansha Rider, which, yes, is a cavalry unit, but it dodges range attacks, right? It dodges arrows. So I think the base version dodges 4 arrows before taking damage, and the elite version dodges 7 arrows before taking damage. So if you have focus fire, they're still kind of weak to archers, but to have that you need a mass of archers, and then if you're doing focus fire with archers, as always there's going to be a lot of overkill. And Shrimbansha are quite speedy, so yes, you can mow them down, but at the same time, by the time you kill a couple, then they're going to be on you. And if I'm not mistaken, Elite Shrimbansha Rider has like 12 attack. 12 base attack. So that could be an option for Otter. Now, the problem for Otter is that, well, he has 2 problems at the moment. First one is this, right? 5 relics for YoSoyPacho. And Imperial Age for YoSoyPacho. And thinking about it, in Imperial, there's another unit from the Italians which could actually give Gorgiaras some troubles. And that would be the Condottiero. Now, Condottieri, they are an infantry unit which is specialized in taking down gunpowder units. So, generally speaking, units like the hand cannons, they have bonus damage against infantry. Now, the Condottiero denies that bonus damage, and they have bonus damage against gunpowder units themselves, and they're quite speedy. They're generally countered by archer units, so ranged units without gunpowder, and I would say heavy infantry and heavy cavalry. Now, Gorgiaras, they have no access to knights, which would be the heavy cavalry. They do not get champion, right? They would have the elite, well, they would have the elephant archer, which would be a nice counter to the Condottieri, but yeah, that's quite costly, and their only other option would be the unique unit, which is the chakram thrower. Now the problem is that chakram throwers require castles, whereas condottieri, they do not. So it should be easier overall for YoSoyPacho to just mess up the numbers than it would be for Otter. Okay, YoSoyPacho piling up the pressure on Otter. Also, if I'm not mistaken... Okay, never mind. Yeah, I was about to say this gate has been hit from uphill, but I think... Oh, actually, I think the main base is elevation 1, and the rest is elevation 2, so that might actually be a uphill shot. Yeah, I think that's the case. Yeah, because the gate is at the same height as the wall, not as the monastery. So yeah, technically that was an uphill shot. But now there's a bunch of camels from Otter. There's a bunch of elephants which take down the thread. They're going to be taking down the castle eventually. But YoSoyPacho already with the Genoese crossbowman. Jumps in the castle, jumps out the other side. And generally speaking, rams are pretty good against ranged units, but yeah, these are still cavalry units. Oh, actually, no, the bonus damage is denied. But yeah, anyway, Otter calls the GG. He knows he's too far behind, both eco-wise and, you know, technology-wise. YoSoyPacho nicely walled, also has 45 walls. And yeah, he takes the first game. It's a shame Otter wasn't able to get his monastery and siege workshop down at the start. Maybe he was out a little bit too early. I know he wanted to go this side, but he could have built stuff here, right? In the middle. So he didn't really need to be out at that point, because he got to castle when his villagers got here. So I would say either go out a little bit later and build your stuff here, or just go the way around, right? But yeah. Let's see. Yeah, economy-wise, YoSoyPacho was ahead. Of course, he had more villas. Otter had some good uptimes. Okay, so let me load up game 2, which should be on Team Glaciers, if I remember correctly. Yes. Okay, here we are. Okay, so we have Otter in teal, changing the color this time, against YoSoyPacho in the purple. And we have Vikings from Otter and Lithuanians from YoSoyPacho. Okay, so Vikings are an interesting choice because you do have water, right? It's It's not going to be like on some other maps. Okay, Otto had a headset issue there. So it's not going to be like on other maps where you go early on water because you want to get Navy out and fight with that and whatnot. I think people, generally speaking, people go later to Navy on this map. I've seen mostly late castle or limp because you don't really get anything out of winning water, say in feudal, right? There's no fish and you have 3 passages to get to your opponent, so you're not going to have enough navy to be able to keep an eye on all of them. Now, Vikings, they have an insane navy. They are still to this day probably the strongest civ on water. Which is crazy when you think about it, because they've been the strongest civ on water since Age of Kings, when they were introduced. So the very base game that we got, what, 26 years ago now? So yeah, I mean, there's been some talk about other civs being the best on water, like, right? Italians sometimes are mentioned as the best civ on water. Portuguese, Malay, Armenians we have now. But yeah, Vikings are just, they're crazy good on water. Now, not all water maps, because, or rather, not all maps which include water, because they do lack fire ships, right? So, on maps with very small water, when you might want to go fire ships instead of galleys, then sure, maybe Vikings are not as good as other civs. But if you can get into a situation where you have your longboats or your war galleys with Vikings, it's just amazing. Okay, just a second. There's a bot in chat I need to take care of. There we go. I'm actually thankful to bots who come in just at the start of the game, so there isn't much for me to talk about. So I can just look away for a second, ban them. Anyway. After just pushing his tiers. And YoSoyPacho is up. So 19 pop uptime. Pretty standard with Lithuanians. You also have 4 boars on this map available to you, so it's even better. And yeah, I think YoSoyPacho hasn't pushed a single deer. Maybe a couple, but I think it's taking all of his boars, unless I'm blind. Yeah, unless this one is YoSoyPacho's, I think he's gotten all of them. Yeah, and he's going to go for Feudal Plate. Otter clicking up now, or rather he's getting Loom, so he's going to be clicking up after that one. He's going to have the food. And that's going to be a weird uptime. Because it's too late to be a fast Feudal, and it's probably too early to be a fast castle. But now he knows YoSoyPacho is up to Feudal. Oh, actually YoSoyPacho went up without Loom. Okay. That's the power of Lithuanians. You can go up super fast. Pretty risky to go up without Loom, but at the same time, you're on a map with tons of deer available to you, so it's unlikely your opponent is going to be forward with the scout. They're most likely going to be at home pushing their own deers. So both scouts quite weak. YoSoyPacho is has 1 less HP, but it doesn't matter, right? They both go down to 5 hits at this point. Yeah, Tech, I've noticed this map is quite popular. I will say it's probably the closest one we have to Arabia, so maybe that's why. I mean, resource-wise, it is quite close to Arabia. You have extra boards, but that's it. And if there was just 1 passage, then probably it wouldn't be that popular, but with 3 passages, that really helps. Okay, archer range from Otter. Okay, he's going to be making a spear himself. He needs to send more vills here to fight the scouts. He's going to lose 1 vill. Archer range still denied. Also, he's Vikings, so he gets free wheelbarrow. Where is it? Economy, yeah. Wheelbarrow, which means that his vills, not only they will be carrying more resources, so they're now going to be carrying 13 resources instead of 10. They also move faster, so it makes it a little bit easier for you to just run away from scouts or enemy units in general. Oh, YoSoyPacho. Sorry, YoSoyPacho, just mashed their names together. The other one just notices he had a wall on the berries. Was that? Yes. He is probably going to wall towards the TC because he knows TC's hit nothing. Apparently that's going to be addressed in the next patch. I won't believe it until I see it, but I'm just gonna leave it at that. And YoSoyPacho just nicely walling. He's the one applying pressure, so he doesn't have to worry too much for the time being about having exposed villagers. It's kind of sad that he's got no resources in this area. And he figures, well, I've done enough damage. He's got spears around. He doesn't see... Oh, well. Yeah, I guess he figured he doesn't have to worry too much about archers because he saw that Otter's gold is forward. And he knew he was not on that, so he should know there are no archers coming anytime soon. And now he's got skirmishers, which, by the way, with Lithuanians move faster, so they're going to be pretty nice to use against the spearmen. These, of course, are Viking spearmen, so they have extra HP. I think it's, yeah, 20% starting in feudal. So they have 9 extra HP compared to other spearmen. Okay, tower is going to go up. Oh, nice hits on the scouts. And yeah, now Otter is going to be able to take this gold without being bothered too much. He might have to move his wood line later on, right? Because skirmishers could just sit behind it and be annoying. Otter with his own skirmishers. These skirms are being so annoying, denying that market. And Otter really wants the market, because if he sells the wood, he can go up. Just send all of the vills to build the market. Yeah. Because these skirms are never going to kill the vills. Right. There is fletching, so... Okay, yeah, they focus on the spearmen. There we go. Now you just sell the wood, buy the food, and you're up. we are getting fletching instead, okay. YoSoyPacho has a lot of food himself, but he's just now going to gold, so despite the decoy, different... Oh! Never mind, he had the market, so yeah, he's up. And Otter is investing more and more into feudal. He doesn't really need to, right? He is completely walled. The skirms, best they can do is being annoying. Scouts are weak, so they can't really run underneath the tower and risk taking damage from the vills. But yeah, Otter is up as well. And this might end up being siege defense from Otter. I think with Vikings that's his best option at the moment, because he... Where is his stone actually? Oh, it's over there. Yikes. Yeah, stone generation can be very bad on this map, or rather, it generates quite far away from your base, but I mean... Otters seems a bit farther away than YoSoyPacho's, right? Yeah, this one seems closer. Maybe it's because it's... Yeah, it's probably just a visual thing. Okay, so we have castle from YoSoyPacho, who is Lithuanian. So yeah, there's the monastery. He is going to go out to get the relics. He's got the map control, so maybe this one is the only one he's not going to be able to get that easily. This one, there's a passage right here, right? Otter is going for a dock. Okay. So as I mentioned earlier, you have a great navy with Vikings. So he might be thinking, okay, I got the castle. I now have access to longboats. Let's use those to keep map control. And longboats are just amazing. I don't think there's going to be a single thing Lithuanians can do in Castle Age to counter those, aside from, you know, making castles. Okay, thank you, welcome to Raptor. So it is also welcome. Okay, so it is a little bit far away. I mean, as you mentioned, it's just 5, maybe 10 towers away. I think the fact that it is like in a line like this instead of this also makes it seem a little bit farther away. Ooh, okay. Sorry. Okay, so I wanted the... Oof, nice. I wanted the longboats, but Otter opts for boomy ships instead. Okay. I have not seen the new official version of this map. Oh, you mean... Okay. Yeah, the one from the new... Wait, are they also changing older maps with the new... With the new PUP? I thought they were I thought they were only adding new maps to the map pool. Not really tinkering with already existing ones. Ooh, okay. It's actually interesting to know that they're changing older maps as well, because I mean, we just had a very big patch in April, right, where they changed a lot of things balance-wise, and now they're sending out another big patch with changes to maps and whatnot, so that's interesting. Anyway, back to the game. Otter, he is now making longboats, and he's patrolling the water with those. So now it's not going to be as easy for YoSoyPacho to cross it. At the same time, though, he already has a couple of builds here, building stables. So he's not going to be needing to cross this with units anymore. And honestly, with these numbers of longboats, he could still somewhat pull it off. Right? Ooh, second conversion, second conversion, second conversion. Yep. Okay, you have to admit they look better in purple than they do in teal. Anyway, another TC from Otter, who is just going to be Omega booming. That is going to be the fourth TC. He's now behind quite a bit, build-wise. Of course, it is quite easy to boom with the Lithuanians, because you get 100 extra food for every TC you build. Okay, longboats now getting their numbers up. Okay, so Otter, it is nice that he has water control. What I would like to see is him just stonewall 2 passages, and then you focus your navy on a single one. You go demos, you go longboats to keep control of that single passage that you leave open. Right, you don't really need to be leaving these open. I mean, it is too late at this point because you already have units in your base. But yeah, I would have liked to see that. And I mean, this TC going down. Yeah, Otter's still not taking the stone, so a defensive castle is not going to be an option unless he buys the stone, but he doesn't really have the gold at the moment. And YoSoyPacho, I mean, he was out for relics, he already has 2. He might get a 3rd one. Yeah, he's got monks on the field, converting the longboats. He's converting the weak ones, so that's not the end of the board for Otter. But yeah, this little forward base from YoSoyPacho has been very good for him. And Otter is not exactly switching into any proper land military right here, right? I mean, he's making knights with Vikings, which is not exciting, right? They miss bloodlines, they miss husbandry, and in late game you don't even get the last armor upgrade, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Okay, yeah, he's going to be making more barracks. Again, Vikings, they do get extra HP on their infantry. So getting pikes out here would be pretty nice, because they'll have 66 HP. And you're working with Viking eco, right? So you should have the resources needed to keep that up. Otter raiding with... not exactly raiding, just being annoying with the longboats. YoSoyPacho going north. He's probably going to get that relic. And I think, yeah, he got the one over here. So now these knights, yeah, they have +6. So YoSoyPacho already with 4 relics. Actually, 5, 6. Oh yeah, he's going to get the 7th. As Lithuanians, that's going to be insane. He's got 7 rams coming forward. So YoSoyPacho is not even thinking about Imperial Age. He knows he's got amazing knights. They're basically as strong as a cavalier, attack-wise. So for the time being, he doesn't really need to go to Imperial Age. And he is just going to be rolling in Otto's base, who calls DG. So YoSoyPacho takes this set to 0 with, I would say, very strong game 2. But then again, I think Arabia style maps are probably the ones Otter struggles the most on. So that might have been a factor. The build was a little bit weird because he went up 21 pop, or rather 21 vills, which is a little bit late by today's standard when you want to go feudal. I mean, it might have been a fast castle which just didn't go the way he wanted it to go. But yeah. Strong play from YoSoyPacho. But I will say, I like the idea of longboats. I think there is some untapped potential on this map with Viking longboats. But I think you need to be playing in a very specific way to make it work. If it works, I think it's very strong. It's just difficult to make it work, right? Because you would need to still have map control from feudal, so you would need to be coming out from feudal with decent fights, which granted with Viking Eco you could manage to do. And then I think, yes, you put down your docks on one of the passages and you need to wall the others, so that you're actually dictating where the units have to go. But yeah, anyway, that was our first set. Let's go back to the drafting table. And see what our second set is going to be like. So, okay, here we are. So for our second set, we have Wisenatic against TheTiger. So, Wisenatic, player from Germany, just like Otter, as we just saw. He is quite high elo. He is 2k1 with the highest of 2k3. And he's been with us for quite a while now. I do not remember what his first season with us was, but I'm quite sure he's played at least the last 4 seasons. So he is a veteran at this point of the league. Now, his opponent, TheTiger, he is a newcomer when it comes to the league, but as you can see, he is quite high elo himself. Slightly lower than Wisenatic, there's about a 200 elo difference. So he is going to be the underdog in this situation. He also has no experience in the league. Well, aside from, this sprint. So overall, I think he's going to be playing an uphill battle here. Oh, and he is from Argentina, as you can see. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, this was played in round 3 as well. So game 1 is going to be on moats, and game 2 is going to be on canals. As for civs, usual 5 random bands with Slavs, Bengalis, Koreans, Romans, and Spanish. Pretty strong civs. I think we haven't seen Slavs yet in the league. Might be mistaken. Romans, I think I've seen a couple of games from Lordek playing them. He's actually been playing them quite a bit since last season as well. And Spanish, I mean, they get banned a lot, so I don't think we've seen them yet. Now, as for players bans, we have Turks and Byzantines. From Wisenatic, again, Turks, unique unit play. We have modes, so maybe that's what he's thinking. And then we have Portuguese and Chinese from TheTiger. Portuguese, probably because of modes. Chinese, we do have canals, which kind of plays out like Arabia. Although you do have some fish in the middle. And I mean, Chinese are pretty good on Arabia, so that makes sense. These two are also quite high elo players, and high elo players tend to be able to make better use than Chinese compared to other people, so as the elo gets higher and higher, Chinese ban is going to be more common than it is at lower elos. Now that said, Wisenatic, after getting the Italians sniped, he was left with Malay, Mongols, and Cumans. Now Cumans, we've seen them a couple of times on modes, so maybe that's where he's going to be using them. Mongols, Malay, as I said, Malay strong everywhere, Mongols pretty much the same, honestly. I'm actually shocked to see they were not banned. I think they're an obnoxious civ. I tend to ban them when I get the chance. In the Tiger, he was left with Mayans, Vietnamese, and Dravidians after getting his Persians sniped. So quite the archer-focused draft from the Tiger. Whereas for Wisenatic, it's a little bit more varied, right? Cumans, they tend to be very cavalry heavy. Malay, they tend to be archer heavy. And Mongols can do pretty much both, to be honest. So yeah. Oh, Wisenatic has been with us since the King of Ireland tournament. Okay. Okay. So he's... Okay, that's a long time. Alright, so... with the draft out of the way, let me load the games and we can jump straight into those. Okay, we have modes. Okay, here we go. Alright, so we have Mayans from the Tiger and Cumans from Wisenatic. Okay. Oh, he's one of two people who have played in every season of this league, in addition to King of Ireland. You know who the other person is. No, I have no clue who that might be. But I'm guessing if there was another guy like that, he would be a pretty amazing person. Okay, so... yeah, it's me. I'm the culprit here. So, Mayans, I am quite surprised. They are not the kind of pick that would come to mind when you think of closed maps, right? Back in the day, like 8 years ago now, you used to see them a little bit more on Arena, and people would just go fast castle into Plumes to get map control. Granted, that was before we had crazy civs like Bohemians for Arena. Burgundians were not around. Cumans were not around. What else? Portuguese, I think they were around, but they didn't have the same amount of bonuses they have now, right? They didn't have the berry bonus, they didn't have the faster research bonus. So it was a completely different meta on Arena. There was a lot more unique unit play for map control instead of scouts. So you would see a lot of Mangodai, Bloomed, Kongs. Also, those were the days of obsidian arrows, so Mayans actually had a great answer to buildings. So yeah, it was a completely different matter. Anyway. I am curious to see what TheTiger has in store for us. Wisenatic, he's humans, so he is most likely going to go for 2TC. Booming. Now the question is he going to go straight into it, or is he going to apply some aggression on to his opponent with towers or whatnot, and drop a second TC behind that? So that's the only thing we do not really have an answer to right now. Oh, he's getting 2 boars in at the same time. So I think he got... Yeah, he probably got the 2 neutral ones. He still has these 2, which are his. Yeah, and... I mean, he killed it. He didn't really need to, right? So this is a point I made a lot last season when I was casting Gugong. You get multiple boars, that's fine. Do not kill them both. Because if they de-aggro, yeah, they're going to try to go back, but there's walls, right? So the moment you want the boar, you just take it with the Vil. You run back to the TC and you kill it, and that way you do not have any rotting meat. But anyway, that's just me being nitpicky. Okay, Wisenatic going up to feudal. I think it doesn't have loom, yeah. So 19 Vils, no loom. I think the standard is 18 Vils, no loom on arena style maps, but on arena style maps you do have the tier inside your base, which you can push, so it is a little bit easier to do the build than it is here. Also, speaking of the new patch, I'm scared about the way they're changing wild animals, like the crocodiles getting a charge attack. I don't know. I think this map is going to be a nightmare to play on the new patch. Although it depends on how much damage the crocodile is going to be dealing with the charge attack. Oh, I cannot wait for the bears on Alchemy League Season 8. I loved the bears in the Alaska style, on the Alaska style maps. I think it's a shame that people kind of figured out how they worked and they were able to cheese them, right? Because they could find that distance where you can shoot them at, and they will come towards you, but then they go back, they come towards and go back. So that's a bit of a shame, but I really enjoyed the idea. Okay, so the second TC from Wisenatic is on gold. It's a shame this gold spawned close to nothing. Otherwise it would have been an amazing TC spot. I mean, he could have gone here. Yeah, actually it's weird he's going for that gold, because you do have this one at home, which is safe. So I don't know, personally I would rather have a safe wood line. Oh, but this is in between 2 boars and the chicken, so... Okay, yeah, okay, that's a great TC. Never mind. Okay, the tiger, he is up to feudal now. He's got 4 on gold. Okay, going for a market. I do not see a blacksmith. Well, he doesn't really have the wood for that. Okay, there's the blacksmith. Now, 4 on gold is interesting. Okay, we got 1 bill on stone. Is he going to be sending more? Okay, there's the second, there's the third. I'm guessing these vills, after they're done with the sheep, yeah, they're going to go to stone. Okay, so it is going to be a plume play, and he knows about this TC. Now, Wisenatic, he is focused on booming. So, technically, the Tiger could easily, well, not easily, but he could just come up here and drop a castle on Wisenatic's face. If he wanted to. Eagle goes down to the scout. That's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Okay, we now have... Oh, we just got now Loom from Wisenatic. I mean, this scout fought the eagle. Actually, the scout went down. Hold on, I missed that. Blacksmith and barracks. Okay, yeah, Wisenatic knows this area is exposed, so he's just going to wall towards the moat. So, okay, here's the vills from the Tiger. He doesn't have the stone for the castle yet, but I mean, he's still mining away, so by the time these vills get here, he's going to have it. There's a stable for Wisenatic, and that's going to be his second building for Castle Age. Okay, the vills were pathing a bit weirdly for the Tiger. I think he clicked them over here, but the stable was up, so they kind of started going this way. Oh yeah. Yeah, he's trying to click behind the buildings. Now he's going to know there's a wall, and there's the castle. And Wisenatic, he is going to see that. Hello, Nope. Yeah, humans are amazing on this map. I mean, to be fair, they're amazing on any closed maps, where you can just drop your second TC without being too afraid of getting pressured. Although I think the reason they're being so strong on this map is because people are not really going for feudal play, right? They're just going straight to castle. Whereas if you went feudal, you might have some chances to be annoying, because the second TC is going to be exposed. So if you can just go for towers and whatnot, you can just be annoying and avoid them just booming freely booming away. Okay, so plumes are out. They should not be able to... Yeah, they will not get past the CC. We have a gate, we have palisades. Also, these are human palisades, so they do have more HP. That doesn't apply to the seawall, though, does it? Yeah, it doesn't. Never mind, they get through because, as I mentioned, TCs hit nothing. But mangonels do. I think maybe they found a single kill. Yeah, they have no botkins, so they're quite weak at the moment. Yeah. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, right in the face. Okay. And behind this, the Tiger making use of the Mayanico, but he is behind a lot in build numbers. He is now going to add a Mangonel of his own. Which is going to be nice to be... It's going to be nice to take down the TC, but now there's a castle going up, so this push will get stopped. The Tiger is going to need to be careful here, because he could deny the castle with the Mangonel, but then there's a Mangonel from Wisenatic. And if he gets too close with Mangonel, he's going to be within the range of the TC. So he's really playing with fire here. But yeah, the castle should go up. Yeah, Mangonel goes down. Nice shot from Wisenatic. And now this Mangonel can just keep the plumes away. And yeah, the castle is going to go up. And Wisenatic will be able to click up to Imp behind that. I mean, he's missing the gold. He does have a market, so yeah, he's going to sell stuff and go up to Imp. Okay, 30C from the Tiger, which... I'm not a fan of the positions of these TCs. I mean, I guess... You drop the castle here, you had builds over there, just... You build a TC instead of going for a lumber camp. I guess... But these two TCs are going to be very exposed. So the moment Wisenatic gets to Imp and traps this castle down, the Tiger will lose not only the position, but he will also lose a lot of eco. Right, about 1/3 of his eco is concentrated in this area. Yeah, that's 18 builds out of 56. Okay, we still have plumes in the back. Did they run all the way around? Yeah, they did. So now they're finding some kills. 11 kills already. Wait, let me go back, because I missed that because I was looking at the eco. Going to speed up a bit, just to get to that point. Yeah, they just ran around. And this is nice. This is the nice thing about plumes, right? They're speedy, so you can just run around. Ooh, that's a lot of kills. Okay, tower will go up, but Wisenatic will lose a lot of vills. And suddenly, the Tiger is ahead vill-wise. Wait. Is the crocodile going to get a kill? Ah. That was close. Okay, now we have Imp from Wisenatic. Yeah, just getting a trap out. You don't really have to worry about the plumes sniping the trap. Ooh, those are some nice shots. Well, no, just a single shot. They will take down this Mangonel. Nice micro. And now they can just run away. Or go back for more. But the trap is out. I can hear a ram. Ooh, okay. Okay, so the Tiger ramming this down, dropping a castle. He might be able to raid this. Oh yeah, he's going to be able to raid this economy. So he's going to pull ahead. I'm not sure why he's going back with the plumes. Right, just run into the base. And kill Hiko. He could have found so many Vil kills here. Right, there's 28 Vils. Only 15 would fit into the TC. He kind of missed the window. Because now there's going to be a castle up in Wisenatic space. So he is going to be safe. We already have the second armor coming in. 5 knights into the queue. And the Tiger, he's just expanding. With houses, getting vision on the map. Lots of outposts. Okay, now the plumes are finding some kills. And they do have all of the attack upgrades from Castle Age. And these knights, they lack bloodlines. They only have the second armor, so it's as if they were Castle Age knights fighting Castle Age crossbows, because the plumes, they do have the same attack as a crossbowman. But they're faster and they're tankier, so with these numbers, the Tiger could technically micro them down. He does miss ballistics, but I think they're more accurate than a crossbow, right? 8 base accuracy. I don't know what the crossbows are like. And we have Imperial from the Tiger. From this TC, which is a bit risky. Now, the Tiger is ahead, build-wise and military-wise. The issue is he is going unique unit and he's going to be losing both castles. There's no way he can keep this one up. So he needs to be thinking of a switch. And I mean, he saw knights from Wisenatic, so he should be thinking pikes, ideally. Mayans, they do get fully upgraded halberdiers. The problem with that would be that Wisenatic is on 2 castles, so the moment he sees a single pike, he can just go into keep checks to support the knights. The plumes will get cleaned eventually, but they should be able to take down as many knights. Quite a bit of knights. Actually? No way they win this, right? That's the power of proper micro with archers. That's insane. It also looked for a moment that like they were trapped by the knights, but... Ooh. Uphill shot. Nice. Couple of knights were weak. Yeah, just pick them off. Okay, now there's not enough plumes to kill the knights, but I mean, they got a lot of value. I think Wisenatic was sitting on 20 or so knights. He's down to 8. And he's still running around. Okay, yeah, he's just going to sit there, but yeah, they will die eventually. Okay, there's the Pycon switch. I mean, those knights, they still have... I mean, they're still knights. They do have bloodlines now, and they have the last armor upgrade, but they have no attack upgrades. So, Pikemen could be able to hold for a while. He will eventually need Halberdier. The good news is he does have the gold for that. So he just needs the food. Oh, he used the gold to buy the food. For the armor. I don't know, I think Halberdier upgrade was more important here. Okay, that's Cavalier, and yeah, and we have it switched to Kipchucks by Wisenatic, who I believe saw a couple of pikes moving around here. Either that or he's expecting the pikeman switch, because I mean that's what would make sense from the Tiger in this position. Okay, the Tiger though still ahead in bills. He is now messing pikes. There's only 6 Kipchucks on the field, and they do not have Botkin nor the Parthian Tactics, so they should not be dealing too much damage to those pikes. Castle here, preventing another castle drop, or rather more buildings from Wisenatic. Okay, Tiger calls the GG. Yeah, I mean, maybe if he had Halberdier as an upgrade here, he has a chance, because, again, he's ahead in builds. But he's too far behind, army-wise. Not just in numbers, but in technologies. That's a shame, because, I mean, the push was stopped quite fast by Wisenatic, who had a very nice uptime with the 2TC boom. So there was a very small window for the castle drop to do damage. But then the way the Tiger used the mobility of the plumes to just go around and find some kills here on the wood line, that was a good moment in the game. And honestly, that could have been the moment where the Tiger starts taking, you know, the game into his hands. I think, again, going back to this, I think if these 2 TCs are not here, but here, right? So he has safe eco for longer, then I think it's a different game. Because maybe he still loses this position, but then he has the resources to actually go into Halberdier and maybe something else to support those. But yeah, nice game. Very nice game. Let's look at statistics and then we can jump into the second one. Yeah, I mean, eco-wise, despite facing the Cuman boom on 2 TCs, he was not behind by a lot, right? Okay, let me load up the second game. And see what they have in store for us on canals. Okay, here we are. Alright, so we have Malay for Wisenatic in the blue. And we have Dravidians for the Tiger here in the orange. Also, just one sec, sorry. No. Sorry, but it bothers me that I cannot see his name because of the clan tag. I'm sorry. Anyway. Okay, so Malay, as I said, strong on pretty much any map. Here you have access to water, so I think they should be feeling stronger because they do have strong water options eventually. But on the other hand, we have Dravidians, who I would say are probably better than Malay on water in some situations. No, Tech, it's not an issue with the... It's not beef between the clans. It just bothered me that I couldn't see the full name of the player because of the clan tag. That's all. But yeah, back to the civs. For a hybrid build that, like what we usually see on this map, I probably prefer Dravidians. The uptime with Malay is going to be nice if used correctly, and they can have a pretty scary hybrid build with Man-at-Arms because they get the armors for free on their infantry. But we'll see what Wisenatic has in store for us. I expect both players to go for docks. Wisenatic would have a very nice spot here. I think he can fit a dock between those two shorefish. And then, I mean, he's got a dock. If he gets a dock here, he's got nice fish and 3 shorefish. So, I mean, he could even send like 4 vills to that area. And honestly, something similar here for the Tiger, right? You make a dock here, you get these two, this, which would be very, very nice. Oh, sorry, one sec. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, yeah, he could fit a dock over there, which is a great spot. I'm not a fan of the house there, because it's going to be blocking the vills from going back and forth, but I guess it also kind of was this villain, considering he sent a single build. Yeah, look at this. Tiger sent 2 instead, because that way he doesn't need to get early loom, doesn't need to wall them in, and he gets 2 vills working on fish. So like this. Okay, there's loom from Wisenatic. Where is this vill going? Is he going for a forward? If he is, it is going to get spotted. Okay, if Tiger was paying attention, he should have seen that. But I don't think he was. Because he didn't follow the vill in any way with the scouts, so... Oh yeah. Okay, we do have loom on the vills. Yeah, I think Wisenatic was sending that vill forward to fight together with the scout, but now he sees the loom on the vills, so he just backs off. Oh, it's a forward dock. Okay, Tiger will see this. Ooh, he doesn't. By 1 tile. So it's going to be forward dock with fires. Okay, the fire was coming from the other dock, so... Okay, if it was coming from this, it might have denied the dock. But yeah, no, it was coming from this. Okay, actually, no, it wouldn't have denied the dock because it's not out yet. But yeah, now he will see this. And it's going to be 2 docks from both players, but yeah, we already have 2 fires out for Wisenatic. No fires out for... Ooh, that scout will go down, burned to death. Okay. Okay, the other scout gets shanked by the villagers, so no issue. And Tiger still hasn't the fires out. Okay, 1 fishing ship is going to go down, maybe 2. Take the fight against the fire. And we have archers from the Tiger. Wisenatic not doing anything on land, so he's just focusing on the fires for the time being. Yeah, I mean, Tiger was not able to out-repair there. Okay, and now we have a demo coming out from Wisenatic, which is interesting because, generally speaking, you see the one who is behind with in the fire ward making the first demo, whereas here Wisenatic just made one, despite being the one ahead. Also, I just noticed Wisenatic with only 1 fishing ship, and it's not like he got them sniped, right? He just made one. Ooh, actually, the archer... sorry, the demo... Okay, no. Yeah, I was about to say, maybe the demo is to get any archers that might be coming forward and maybe crossing the water, but he doesn't know about the range. Actually, not knowing about the range will be an issue for him, because now... Yeah, this archer will be able to kill... Wait, do we have fletching? Oh, no fletching, so maybe... Yeah, he's not going to get any kills. And we have skirmishers coming out for Wisenatic. Yeah, flashing coming in now, but yeah, Vils can just fight this off. Just go back with the weak one, and now you have a skirmisher to take care of it. It's unfortunate there's a tree on this side of the archer range, because I think the skirmisher just went out this way and had to go around. Okay. So Wisenatic manages to defend himself from the archers. And keeps control of the water, so pretty good position for him. More archers coming forward, but he is walled. Also, it's a good thing he walled to the shoreline here and not to the oysters, because you cannot wall on the oysters, and that would make you think that, well, if I cannot wall on it, then units cannot walk over it, right? Yes, they can. So, Tiger will eventually break through this, but we have Castlage for Wisenatic. And he's walling behind. I would like to see... Yeah, he still has a single demo. I would like to see it coming forward and maybe trying to snipe the archers. yeah, no. He's staying on a single archer range. No blacksmith from Wisenatic. So, oh no, there it is. Never mind. So yeah, he could go for siege defense here. He opts for a second TC instead. And he uses the remaining wood to get Elite Skirm, which is going to be enough to defend for the time being. And he still has the eco on water. I really like the way he approached the water. So he went for a single fishing ship, right, to get a little boost in Dark Age. And then he went forward dock, he won the water, and then he added the eco. That's especially nice with Malay, right? Because generally speaking, when you go up, you're up like 2 vills with 2 more vills than your opponent. And generally speaking, I think you go up to field with 3 fishing ships. So he kind of made up for those 2 fishing ships he didn't make with the 2 extra vills he got because Malay. And then that left him with more wood to invest into fires and the forward dock. So yeah, that was an interesting play. And he's going to have this TC on 3 boars. He's going to be adding the monastery. We've got a siege workshop here for the tiger, but these skirms are on this side of the water. And keep in mind there's a demo lurking around. So the tiger is going to need to be very careful about not losing the siege he's going to be making. Also, sorry again, 1 second. Alright, sorry about that. I'm back. And honestly, from here, I mean, he doesn't have the food eco at the moment to get that, but he could eventually make a couple of galleys and get war galley, just to be annoying, right? He could deny a couple of farms, start dishing out damage to the houses, keep this area open, which will give him an angle to push from later on. Okay, careful here with the mangonel. Nice. Nice dodges from Wisenatic. Oh, I think that was a misclick. He wanted to attack the skirmishers, but he attacked the archer range instead. Oh, bills might go down. Oh, not a single one goes down. Okay. How did he survive that? Yeah, I mean, Wisenatic is pushed off this gold, but he still has this one. He now has a mangonel of his own. He might get... Oh, never mind. His mangonel goes down. Okay. Because he was targeting the... Oh, Monk here gets value from Wisenatic. But yeah, the mangonel here targeted the crossbows instead of the mangonel. Now, these crossbows, take it in. These vills, yeah, they can just run this way, right? Oh, they go towards the TC instead. Okay. So that's 3, 4. Actually, 5 kills. Yikes. I mean, Wisenatic still ahead in vills. He is on 3 TCs. TheTiger is on 2. But TheTiger, he is slowly pushing with the crossbows. He's going to take another vill so that he's not going to be able to repair. Nice dodges. Oh, never mind. I jinxed him. I jinxed him a lot. Yeah, I agree. Tiger has been very aggressive with his playstyle. Wisenatic, though, he is... I mean, he has demonstrated that he's very good at defending. And he is about to click up again. And again, as melee, that tap time is going to be very, very fast. His eco is not very balanced at the moment, right? Only 13 on food. Even if he wants to go for villager, arbalesters, he will need more vills on food just to be able to get the upgrades. Because I believe this crossbowman he has, it's a converted one. Yeah, he doesn't have crossbow tacked in. So he's going to be needing crossbow, arbalester, bracer, chemistry. Okay, forward castle from TheTiger, who is going to be needing to clean these magnos. He should be able to, right? Okay, yeah, I was about to comment on the micro from Tiger, but I didn't want to jinx him again. That was a very good micro on the manganos. Okay, there's the farms. Another raid here. Okay, so more vills go down. The vill difference is becoming smaller and smaller. But we have Imperial from Wisenatic. We do not have that for TheTiger. Wisenatic, though, still no crossbow upgrade. Yeah, thinking about it, he doesn't really need the crossbow upgrade at the moment, right? He can just stay on skirms. He could just get... Okay, they cannot get through. Okay, for a moment there I was sweating bullets for Wisenatic. He could get chemistry here and take down the castle with the cannon galleons from the water, and then he could roll up to TheTiger's base and take it down with cannon galleons, and in the meantime he can hold with the skirmishers and mangonels. Ooh, these crossbows, they're getting some damage. Okay, so Tiger, he is behind in eco. But he's ahead in military. He has map control. He does. It's weird. He doesn't have water control, but he does have map control. So does he know about that castle from Wisenatic? Okay, he doesn't, but he's coming forward himself with a castle which I think is going to be right on that hill, which is going to be amazing for him. And, I mean, yeah, the castle goes up for Wisenatic, but we've got armored elephants from TheTiger, so... Yeah. You put that castle over there. 11 bills, yeah, this castle is going up. Although, ooh, there's skirmishers coming. Okay, the castle might get denied, actually. That's a shame, because that would have been... I wouldn't say a game-winning castle, but yeah, it would have given the Tiger a great position. Oh, and we also have Karambits now. Which, as I mentioned, they have the armor for free, so they have 5 pierce armor, so they take only 2 damage from these crossbows, because they're still Castle Age units. Karambits, very cheap, they create fast, they take up only half population space. So yeah, they should be able to take care of the... Yeah, together with the skirmishers, they should be able to take care of the crossbows. We do have... Oh, never mind. We had a single Yurumi swordsman from the Tiger, which could have been nice against the Karambits, but yeah, these crossbows will go down to the skirmishers. This castle is getting walled up by Wisenatic because it doesn't want to take any chances. And yeah, I doubt the Tiger is going to be able to get it up. Yeah. And he is still far, far away from Imperial. So Wisenatic has managed... Okay, this castle will make it 100% sure that this castle is not going up for Tiger. So Wisenatic, I have to admit, despite the imp timing, it looked dicey there for a moment for him. But I think he has now stabilized. And now he can move forward and start applying pressure to the opponent. We do not have chemistry in, do we? Yeah, we do not, so there's not going to be any cannon galleons for Wisenatic. Oh. Imperial Age horse collar. That's great to see. But yeah, it's too far behind, I think. Wisenatic now going out to get more farms, so I think long term he's just thinking about the Karambits eventually. Yeah, there we go. Especially now that he sees the skirmisher switch from the Tiger, he knows that... Well, I mean, he could get Imperial upgrades for his skirms, but generally speaking, Dravidians are just better because they attack faster. So he doesn't really want to stay on a skirm war, I think. And yeah, Karambits will take down the skirms, and then they can just run into the base and raid. Although TCs are protecting pretty much everything, so maybe they do not raid as easily. Do we have arson? No, so they cannot even take down the TCs. Or rather, they could, but just not as fast as they wished. Oh! Urumi is coming forward. They should find some kills on the Vils. 1, 2. Oh, just 3. Okay. And now we've got enough skirmishers to take down the Karambits. Do we? Okay, no, we don't. Yeah, it looked nice for the skirms there for a moment, but yeah. Karambits now just kill everything. We do have Imperial from the Tiger, so if he can hold, he can probably take it back. He still has some nice access to resources in areas which are not going to get pressured. Maybe he would need like a castle here just to make sure this area is completely defended. It is a bit unlucky that he has 3 golds in this area, but he's taking gold from here, so... Ooh, but Wisenatic, yeah, he knows. And he's going there with the Grambits. Maybe he doesn't know, he's just going through here. Yeah, but now he will know, he notices. And now his eco is getting better and better. Token C8. Chemistry, and with chemistry he's going to be able to make cannon galleons. Just 2 cannon galleons sitting here and the game is over, I think. Yeah, I keep looking back at the castle because I keep forgetting it was walled in. Yeah, I think this is going to be the classic Imp into GG. Okay, he didn't even wait for Imp. Yeah, Tiger calls the GG, so Wisenatic taking the set to 0. It's a shame because I think the Tiger had very, very good moments in both games where it looked like he was going to take it back from Wisenatic. So it was an interesting set. And I'm definitely happy to see a player like him in the league, because these are very entertaining games, right? I feel sad for him because he lost 2-0, but still, those were very, very nice games. And especially the clash of styles, I think was interesting, because as Tech mentioned in the chat, Tiger is very, very aggressive. Wisenatic, maybe a little bit more macro-oriented. Although I say that, but he did an interesting thing with the dog, very aggressive. But yeah, aside from that, he does seem to prefer to just sit back, drop eco, defend with some units, and take it from there. And yeah, Tiger definitely had the hero disadvantage, the experience when it comes to the league. So yeah, overall, very well played to him. And yeah, when it comes to... Because again, despite being that aggressive, if you look at resources, he was not that far behind. But yeah. Okay. So, what time is it? Okay, it is not that late, so for those who are going to be watching this on YouTube, thank you for watching. I'm going to be ending the recording here.